Hello, everybody, and thanks for watching Self-Critical, where a group of agoraphobic friends get together and RP actually going outside. I'm your Dungeon Master, Andy, and these are our players as well. If you could each introduce yourself, starting with Scott.
Hey, I'm Scott, and I'm playing Dahlberg tonight.
And I am Wendy, and I'm playing Delana.
I am Austin, and I'm playing Thunderstone.
And I'm Stone. I'm the idiot. So if you watched the pilot that did not say their name, I'm actually playing Onyx Honeydove.
Onyx Honeydove.
Yes.
Ooh. And as said, I'm your DM. We're going to be playing, this is session 1 from the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, a D&D adventure. It's going to stick mostly to the book, but there might be a couple of things that I throw in there just in case people try to be rules lawyers. It's my rules after that. If you're not familiar, D&D, it's a D20 dice-based system. If you are familiar, we're going to just go and get started. Let's get started by just beginning, right? The traveling extravaganza, known as the Witchlight Carnival, visits your world once every 8 years. You have a dim memory of sneaking into the carnival as a child without paying for a ticket. That memory has grown foggy over time, though it still conjures a weird admixture of emotions. Wonder and awe, mixed with loss and regret. During this childhood visit, your character lost something. You tried to find it, but the carnival owners, a pair of elves named Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, were decidedly unhelpful. Silly little screeching cricket, said Witch. You forgot to buy a ticket. Carnival goes round and round, said Light. The multiverse is our playground. Nothing's free, nothing's lost. Every visit has its cost. As time passed, your heart became less heavy, and you gave less and less thought to those childhood events. Now, for reasons you can't explain, the longing to retrieve that which you have lost has resurfaced, as though an old spell has faded away, allowing you to feel the loss as sharply as if it happened yesterday. The Witchlight Carnival has returned, and you find yourself standing near a ticket booth by the entrance at twilight, just as the carnival is about to open. There you meet others who look as troubled as you. Without knowing how or why, you sense that each of them has lost something as well. Perhaps fate has brought you together. And so as each of you begin walking your way up to this ticket booth, the first lights, the first stars of night begin to twinkle above an apricot sunset. Giant dragonflies whir overhead, trailing streamers, and a low mist curls over the ground. Through a floral archway you glimpse wondrous and vibrant creatures, elf stilt walkers, dancing fairies, and painted performers. Everywhere there's laughter, pixie dust, bubbles, and the wistful tune of a whistling calliope. So, with that, the four of you tend to wander up. Is there anything you see where you're at on the map, over at the ticket booth? Is there anything in particular you would like to do or ask or say as each of you just sort of happen to be walking up here at the moment? You know you've just been driven here by some compulsion of lost childhood longing to be here. And you happen to notice this same look in everyone else's faces.
I go to the ticket booth to get me a ticket.
You begin walking up to the ticket booth. How about you guys?
Yeah,
We're the same, but let everyone know, I may be a fairy, but I'm not with them. So don't come for me asking for advice.
Okay.
I'm missing something too from back in the day.
How'd you know?
Cause I don't know, it just feels weird. Something ain't right.
Yeah, I've been to this carnival a few times in the past. It always seems like how that feeling. Today just seems worse.
Yeah.
Well, as you all begin walking up, could you happen to describe what you look like? Maybe including some of any obvious flaws that may have been because of these missing items? We'll start with you.
So, Onyx Honeydove, as you see him walk up, he is pretty much wearing a black robe with his shield on his back with a imprint of a ram on it. Around his neck, you see basically a skeleton hand gripping a pair of scales, kind of like balancing. You also see a club on his hip made out of a branch and seems to be like a piece of rock. Also, as you noticed, he is also glittering with faint dust around him. For that, he is pretty much this 3-foot tall fairy with black wings.
He doesn't seem to have any idea which direction he's going or something like that.
Go and get a ticket.
Okay. And
My character, he's wearing a robe with a hood on, but he has a light faint of yellow coming out.
okay.
Basically just a 5-foot elf wearing a purple robe, got her weapon on her back. Just
An elf with a weapon, a big bow.
no, a big sword.
Now, when does an elf carry a sword?
Anytime she wants to.
Well, I guess with that mentality, we'll go with it. What about
Sounds
you?
like a barbarian mentality to me. I'm a human, kind of dark garb, kind of nothing. It's hard to tell when you're looking at their clothes. I mean, is it green and tan, or is it more of a light grays and dark grays? I mean, it's hard to tell at times, but it just kind of a dark demeanor about it. Not as in a bad demeanor, just somebody you don't really notice all that often. It's just like if they ain't standing right there in front of you, you may not even know they're there. But you can tell he's got 2 sheathed weapons, kind of long. He's real light in his step, and for some reason, just looks like he don't ever smile. But yeah, he's heading on up there to go get a ticket too.
Okay. Well, as the 4 of you just independently begin meandering that way, because clearly last time you were here, you tried to not buy a ticket, and you have been paying for it ever since. And so now you're doing the right thing. But as you're coming up there, this ticket booth, you've only been escorted out. You've never really came in this way. So a silver statue of a dancing fairy is mounted on the roof of this ticket booth and surrounded by fluttering butterflies. The booth is decorated with an animated depiction of the night sky, with shooting stars arcing across it. An elderly goblin perches behind the ticket counter, peering at you quizzically through a spyglass. He lowers the spyglass and goes to call out to you, but then remembers something, and you see him push a button and begin muttering something under his breath. Within seconds, you see a low, white fog of mist come from behind the ticket booth, and as if stepping through a cloud of vapor, you see a very well-dressed elf in his, what a human would consider probably their mid-20s. He seems to just walk through a fine mist of vapor on the ground, where there's dirt, hay, clay. It doesn't bother him. He is dressed to impress, but he is not overstating it. He's no clown. He is there for the business. And as soon as he turns the corner, he sees all of you. And in his hands are 4 tickets. He stands there, gives a slight curtsy, bow, and says, "Hello, my name is Veneer. You do not know who I am, and I do not know who you are. But someone very important has made sure that 4 tickets have been pre-purchased with your descriptions. And I am here to make sure that I know each and every one of you. Because when someone of that importance begins pre-ordering tickets, trouble tends to follow behind. So, I will be your guide through the park to show you the right way around before any adventuring mischief seems to happen. Whatever happens after that is between you and Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. With that, he hands each of you a ticket, as well as a motion to the ticket booth. You see the old elf goblin hop down from his chair. He rummages around through a chest and produces 4 obviously fake butterfly fairy wings to give each of you. You having a small set that you gotta wear, as it signifies you are a ticket holding member at this carnival. That might be me.
Technical difficulties, everyone.
Yep, that was me. All right. So, as he begins walking you around, is there anywhere in particular you would like to look at first,
Snail
or
racing.
shall he just begin describing as you go?
Snail racing.
Okay.
Okay, we have a vote for the snail racing.
I'm
There is a map that he will begin giving a tour of.
One of it, okay.
Alright.
What are you talking about? Snails are amazing.
They
they're
move at half a
slow.
mile an hour.
You're slow.
You ain't obviously
Yes,
watched that
I do.
one particular movie with a racing snail.
So wait, y'all all had tickets paid for you too?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All I know
We
is
can
this
get a
guy
talk
vapes.
afterwards.
All I know is this guy vapes way too much.
What the heck is vaping?
All that vapor coming out from under him.
I can see it. I can see it.
He smokes the sheep's pipe a little too much.
He probably
Hey,
do.
we don't talk about that.
He probably do.
As you guys are muttering,
Vape, pass.
he walks directly in the direction that you guys have stated, mentioning the snails. He quickly turns every time you guys fall more than a few feet behind to make sure that no one accidentally falls too far behind. And then you make your way to the grandstands. Next to this race course, they're filled with cheering fairgoers, ringing bells, swinging rattles, and waving flags. On the starting line, eight giant snails are having their shells scrubbed by pixies. Above the circular course, a wooden gantry hangs, and from the branches of a silver tree, 2 goblins officiate proceedings. Now, you see before you 8 snails, each of them with a number 1 through 8, each of them with a corresponding color. There are a few interesting rules. I'm assuming you guys would be interested in knowing how this race works.
Sure.
Sure, why not?
This race is divided into 6-second rounds. This course is let's see. The race is divided into 6-second rounds. Once the race begins, the snails move along the track, each one covering 80 feet per round. Okay? Without a rider, the snails are an even match, but a jockey can try to improve the snail's performance by patting its shell or speaking words of encouragement. The initiative rolls are unnecessary since everyone starts at the same time. Once per round, each jockey can make a DC 12 animal handling check. On a successful check, you can give it an extra 10 feet of movement, or an extra 20 feet if you succeed by 5 or more. On a failed check, the jockey's snail moves 10 feet or slower, or 20 feet or slower if you fail by 5 or more. The race ends when 1 or more snails travel the total track of 480 feet to cross the finish line. If 2 or more snails cross the finish line at the same time, we'll figure that one out because there's some extra rules for that.
I remember these snails would be a lot slower.
You notice there are very obvious signs that are pointed out to you, posted in the stands and along the racetrack, that warn that neither jockeys nor spectators may influence the outcome of a race by using magic or harassing other jockeys or snails. Any jockey who openly does so is disqualified, as is the jockey's snail. A spectator caught doing so is escorted from the carnival. Okay, so with that in mind, who would like to participate in the snail race?
Sure.
Sure,
That
why
awesome.
not?
Sure.
Everybody wants to hop in? Okay. Well,
We got a loose snail on.
do we have a loose snail?
Yeah, he's on top of the little arch.
Okay, well, that's 4 players. We got 8 snails. We need 4 other players. Does anybody have D20s they want to roll to roll snail racing? Anybody? I need D20s and enthusiasm. Yes, no, maybe? D20s, anybody? We got snail races.
I got an extra D20 if anybody wants to use it.
It wasn't clear, everyone. We were recording this in a shop. We have a live audience. And we are going to let the audience participate in some things.
Okay.
Give that to Tori if she comes over.
Well, no, Tori's got
If anybody wants to hop in, I'm sure we got extra D20s over here. You can hand them out.
I want to do it.
Okay.
You got two right there.
You just stay over there on the corner, grab a D20, and you'll just get ready. If anybody wants to roll a D20 for a racer, I would greatly appreciate it.
You're not gonna win.
Yeah, I know.
He's having an emotional breakdown. Leave him alone.
Maybe he's the one who's watching to make sure no one cheats.
I need, okay, good. So, we've got 3 racers. Is anybody else going to help? So, everybody gets lined up. Does anybody have a particular color that they want to
Red.
get on? We've got pink, blue, purple, green, yellow, orange, red, and black.
Pink.
Purple.
Red.
Purple. So, you're going to write down number 3, High Road, for purple. What color?
Red.
Red is number 7, Breakneck.
Pink.
Pink is number 1, Shelly Moo.
Blue, I guess.
Blue is number 2, Nimblefoot. All right. So,
Snails don't have feet.
who we got left? We got green, Quickleaf. Who wants to be green? Number 4. Can you remember that you're number 4?
I hope so.
I hope so too. Is there an extra pencil over there, or shall I grab one?
Yeah, there's one right here.
Right.
Or did you get the lid out of this? Y'all need something to write on?
Not this
We
one.
good?
No, yours.
I think
It's
Eric's
red.
See,
going.
that one's
Yeah, I'll take care of right
That's a
for
send it button.
4.
Oh my God.
Number yellow. Number 5, Flower Flash. And then I guess we got orange,
That's
Wizzy.
Steven.
Steven will be Wizzy. And then we've got number 8, the Black Snail Queen's Majesty. I guess I'll be number 8. As everyone is given a quick training course on how to properly use their snail, everyone clambers on, and you finally see from this advantage the complex largeness of this 480-foot track.
This track is a lot bigger than number 2.
See, this is the track.
And with that, they're off! Everybody roll a d20.
Jeez.
Start with you.
17.
17. DC is 12, so you get to move the full 80 plus. That's 5 more, 20 more. You get to move 100 feet. Mark that down. Next in line, Wendy.
16.
16, you get to move. That's more than the DC. So let's see, on a successful 10 extra, you get to move 90 feet. No, 90 feet.
12.
You just meet it, so you get to roll 90 feet.
Is this with the animal handling?
Animal handling.
20.
22. 100 feet.
16.
16. That gives you, you know what? I'll give you a +2. You get to move 100. What do you get?
3.
This snail is, you realize that you're on it backwards. You were trying to yaw the tail. It started going backwards. No, and then started going forward again. You actually only went like 60 feet.
I'm still proud of it.
Yeah. And then that's okay. Confused with you was Queen's Majesty. Thought you had some kind of trick going on and ended up hesitating as well.
I'll roll on for
That don't worry. It looks like they didn't. It looks like there was just confusion and chaos whenever you did that. So you caused like 2 other snails to just falter. So they're still trying to catch up. Round 2. Let's get them rolls. It's okay. We'll make it work. What you got?
8.
8.
12.
12. Okay, let me write that down. We got, you went,
Sorry for sabotaging you during the snow racing.
It's okay, I mean, you had a bad start.
60. We got 8. So you went, that's 70 feet this time. 12. You actually made it that. You actually got in going in the right direction the whole time. What about you?
7.
7. You turned over like, what? Did I miss something?
What?
And ended up going a little bit slower. You went 60. Mark that down. Next.
Okay.
19 with plus, no, 18 plus 1 with animal handling. 19.
Okay, you moved the full 100. Wendy.
14.
14. You moved the 90.
17 again.
17 again. 90. 100. And then we get. Wow. Queen's Majesty has absolutely just. They feel concerned that you are going to hurt people, and they have hopped off of their snail to try to help you out. Whereas the other rider is just excited to get away from this chaos and is clambering in the right direction. There are 2 people, anyone who looks over their shoulders sees 2 snails going completely in wrong directions. And there are just, it looks like people are jumping to like help at this point. You're not sure. And then there's people trying to stop the people from helping. There's goblins getting involved. It's crazy. So, round 3.
$16.
16, that's going to give you 90.
9.
9, that's going to give you 70.
11.
11, that's going to give you 70.
So what I get-
13.
Because we're using animal handling.
70.
So-
90.
90.
Yeah, we're using animal handling.
So how much is plus
you
3 wisdom?
5.
Hers is plus 2.
You are worried about your friend,
So I get a plus
but you're
3?
not completely slowing down. You moved
Oh,
60
use that next
this
round.
round. So, what'd you get?
7.
You began trying to run over the person who got off of
It's
their
all part of my
snail.
grand plan.
Hey, Andy. Sorry, what was mine? I made 11.
70.
Thank you. I was helping.
Yep. He's the the black snail, Queen's Majesty. Their rider is just accidentally trampled under you. You didn't even mean to do it. You just got it going, and it is like the Queen's Majesty is without a rider. There's people just running in, just trying to stop this one. It is. We're giving them a show, apparently.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Next roll.
Nat 20!
Nat 20.
There you go.
Okay. Well, that's going to give you, definitely, that's going to give you the 100.
2.
2. You are just bemused by the calamity happening behind you. You were so focused on looking over your shoulder, you begin running into like one of the piles of mushrooms that are on the edges. You do 60.
I got 13.
13, you get 80.
14.
80. What numbers are we looking at? Because we're aiming for 480, and I bet we're getting real close to it.
350.
Good lord.
300s? Anybody else in the 300s?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, oh, getting your rolls. What's your rolls?
No.
No.
Oh.
6.
6.
All right, we got 60.
Not 20.
We got 2 nat 20s.
These 2.
Okay, I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna remember that one. All right. You see this snail like after clambering over. You're not sure if it's because it realized it's on a person or if the person that it ran over was experienced enough to know how to make a snail get off of it. But as soon as its body gets encompassed, the other person, you just see that snail go "Whoop," and just bolt as if something just did something to its back end it didn't want to happen. And this thing just takes off for the full 100. Right? It is ready to go. All right, this might be everybody's rounding the bend. People are screaming, they're excited. You see a snail being wrangled at the finish line. You guys are heading full speed. What do we got?
15.
15, that's 80.
19.
80. 8, that's going to be 60.
20.
What? Oh, no, 70. Excuse me.
You had 19?
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be 100, right?
I'm sorry, 100, yeah. Anything 5 over 12 is 100.
22.
22, that's 100.
3.
3. You've given up on the race. You're just like, you know what, I'm just enjoying the ride now.
4.
And what's
4. You
What?
went,
What's the number we're going for?
480.
Okay.
No, we're getting there. So, okay, 4. This snail is holding, you're just holding on for dear life. It is just bolting. It's just picking a direction. It's going straight, and this map curves. So, it's going good, and you're like, getting a good 60 feet in. The other guy, as soon as the snail gets off of him, jumps off of his snail back onto Queen's Majesty and tries to catch up and just realizes this is futile at this point. Is anybody at 480?
I'm at 450.
450.
All right, this is where it's going to get real close. It's going to come down to a roll. Last round. It's round of the bend. Everybody's screaming. What do we got?
15.
15.
Plus 3 says 22.
22. What do you got? Anybody got 480 over there?
I got 10.
Okay, well, if 2 or more snails cross the finish line in the same round,
I got 20.
you got a nat 20?
I got a nat 20.
You got a nat 20.
You still get 480.
Whenever you spent the whole time looking behind you, and then you looked around in front of it and you saw your friend like run into the wall, and you're like, crap, this is almost over. I better go ahead and enjoy this while I can. And you just, and start taking this thing off. The way this is going to work is...
She'll be at 480 if you, she's got 10, so that should put her at 480, right? She's at 440 now.
She's at 440. If she rolled a 10, then that's going to give her at least 60.
Yep. So that puts you at 500 even.
Okay, so what you guys are going to do is you each roll a d20. The highest roll determines the winner. Narrow. It's like to the antennae.
I ain't gonna try.
Go ahead and try it. Never know.
Yeah. Sure.
With animal handling 14, I'll roll 10.
Nat 20.
All right. Well, it looks like with that nat 20 right there at the end, your snail. Which one was yours? The number 2, Nimblefoot.
Yeah.
Nimbly wiggles past the other 2, getting that last little bit of antennae over as the crowd goes wild. People are cheering, and you just quickly get the snail to move out of the way as it's about to crash into Black Beauty, who's already given up, just wandering around, and they're trying to get him out of the way. You are presented after this with a potion of advantage, which I'm pretty sure you can interpret what that is. And for doing as courageously as your character did, you end up receiving a consolation prize. It is a magical wand that allows you to cast dancing lights once, and then it just turns into basically a paper straw.
It's the ones from the movie theater, you know, you leave them in the water too long.
Yep, it's like a glow stick basically. It's just one charge. And with that, that is the wonderful snail racing. That's the first event at the carnival. Veneer is standing at the end. He is at least happy that you guys were not the ones to cause the extreme calamity in this instance. It is a carnival. It is to be expected. But he is expecting interesting things from you. But those things we will find out next time on our next episode of Self-Critical. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thank y'all.
Have a great night.
I really
And
thought my weight was gonna give me an advantage.
goodbye.